The historic region of Syria is an area located east of the Mediterranean Sea. The oldest attestation of the name Syria is from the 8th century BC in a bilingual inscription in hieroglyphic Luwian and Phoenician. In this inscription the Luwian word Syria was translated to Phoenician Senia, Assyria, for Herodotus in the 5th century BC. Syria extended as far north as the Halys River and as far south as Arabia and Egypt. For Pliny the Elder and Pomponius Mela, Syria covered the entire Fertile Crescent. In late antiquity Syria meant a region located to the east of the Mediterranean Sea, west of the Euphrates River, north of the Arabian Desert and south of the Taurus Mountains, thereby including modern Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, the state of Palestine and parts of southern Turkey, namely the Hatay province and the western half of the southeastern Anatolia region. This late definition is equivalent to the region known in Classical Arabic by the name Ash-Sham, which means the North Country. After the Islamic conquest of Byzantine Syria in the 7th century AD, the name Syria fell out of primary use in the region itself, being superseded by the Arabic equivalent Sham, but survived in its original sense in Byzantine and Western European usage, and in Syriac Christian literature. In the 19th century the name Syria was revived in its modern Arabic form to denote the whole of Bilad al-Sham, either as Syria or the modern form Suriya, which eventually replaced the Arabic name of Bilad al-Sham. After World War I, the name Syria was applied to the French Mandate for Syria and the Lebanon and the contemporaneous but short-lived Arab Kingdom of Syria. Throughout history, the region has been controlled by numerous different peoples, including ancient Egyptians, Canaanites, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, ancient Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, the Sunni Arab Caliphates, the Shia Fatimid Caliphate, Crusaders, Ayyubids, Mameluks, Ottomans, the British and the French. The boundaries of the region have changed throughout history, and were last defined in modern times by the proclamation of the short-lived Arab Kingdom of Syria and subsequent definition by French and British mandatory agreement. The area was passed to French and British mandates following World War I and divided into Greater Lebanon, various Syrian mandate states, Mandatory Palestine and Transjordan. The Syrian Mandate states were gradually unified as the State of Syria and finally became the independent Syria in 1946. Throughout this period, Pan-Syrian nationalists advocated for the creation of a Greater Syria. Etymology Syria. The name Syria derives from the ancient Greek name for Syrians, sigma upsilon rho iota omicron iota Syroi, which the Greeks applied without distinction to various Near Eastern peoples living under the rule of Assyria. Modern scholarship confirms the Greek word traces back to the cognate sigma upsilon rho iota alpha, Assyria, ultimately derived from the Akkadian Ashur. The classical Arabic pronunciation of Syria is Suriya. This name was not widely used among Muslims before about 1870, though it had been used by Christians earlier. According to the Syrian Orthodox Church, Syrian used to mean Christian in early Christianity. In English, Syrian historically meant Assyrian Christian. Following the declaration of Syria in 1936, the term Syrian became to designate citizens of that state regardless of ethnicity. The adjective Syriac has come into common use since as a demonym to avoid the ambiguity of Syrian. To some opinions, the origin of the Hellenistic term Syria is bound in the etymology of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. Syria, in this wider sense, could correspond to Greater Assyria, and include all of the Levant and Mesopotamia. Currently, the Arabic term Syria refers to the modern state of Syria, but this distinction was not as clear before the mid-20th century. Sham. The term etymologically means land of the left hand, referring to the fact that for someone in the Hejaz facing east, north is to the left. Sham comes from the Arabic consonantal root shin hamza mim, as seen in alternative Arabic spellings such as an. There is no connection with the name of Shem, son of Noah, as is sometimes assumed. The Sham region is sometimes defined as the area that was dominated by Damascus, long an important regional center. In fact, the Arabic word al-Sham standing on its own can refer to the city of Damascus. History. Syria. Herodotus uses sigma upsilon rho iota alpha to refer to the stretch of land from the Halys River, including Cappadocia in today's Turkey, to the Mount Cassius, which Herodotus says is located just south of Lake Serbonus. According to Herodotus, various remarks in different locations. He describes Syria to include the entire stretch of Phoenician coastal line as well as cities such Cadites. Hellenistic Syria. In Greek usage, Syria and Assyria were used almost interchangeably, but in the Roman Empire, Syria and Assyria came to be used as distinct geographical terms. Syria, in the Roman Empire period, referred to those parts of the empire situated between Asia Minor and Egypt, i.e., the Western Levant, while Assyria was part of the Persian Empire, and only very briefly came under Roman control. Roman Syria. In the Roman era, the term Syria is used to comprise the entire northern Levant and has an uncertain border to the northeast that Pliny the Elder describes as including, from west to east, Commagene, Sophene, and Adiabene, formerly known as Assyria. Various writers use the term to describe the entire Levant region during this period. The New Testament used the name in this sense on numerous occasions. In 64 BC, Syria became a province of the Roman Empire, following the conquest by Pompey. Roman Syria bordered Judea to the south, Anatolian Greek domains to the north, Phoenicia to the west, and was in constant struggle with Parthians to the east. In AD 135, Syria Palestina became to incorporate the entire Levant and western Mesopotamia. In AD 193, the province was divided into Syria proper and Syria Phoenice. Sometime between 330 and 350, the province of Euphratensis was created out of the territory of Syria Coel and the former realm of Commagene, with Hierapolis as its capital. After California, 415, Syria Coel was further subdivided into Syria I, with the capital remaining at Antioch, and Syria II or Salutaris, with capital at Apamea on the Orontes. In 528, Justinian I carved out the small coastal province Theodorias out of territory from both provinces. By Laid al-Sham, the region was annexed to the Islamic Caliphate after the Muslim Rashidun victory over the Byzantine Empire at the Battle of Yarmouk, and became known afterwards by its Arabic name, Ash-Sham. During Umayyad times, Sham was divided into 5 jumds or military districts. They were Jumd Damak, Jumd Hims, Jumd Philastin and Jumd al-Urdun. Later Jumd Kanasreen was created out of part of Jumd Hims. The city of Damascus was the capital of the Islamic Caliphate until the rise of the Abbasid dynasty. Ottoman Syria. In the later ages of the Ottoman times, it was divided into wilayas or sub-provinces, the borders of which and the choice of cities as seats of government within them varied over time. The vilayas or sub-provinces of Aleppo, Damascus, and Beirut, in addition to the 2 special districts of Mount Lebanon and Jerusalem. Aleppo consisted of northern modern-day Syria plus parts of southern Turkey. Damascus covered southern Syria and modern-day Jordan. Beirut covered Lebanon and the Syrian coast from the port city of Latakia southward to the Galilee, while Jerusalem consisted of the land south of the Galilee and west of the Jordan River and the Wadi Arabah. Although the region's population was dominated by Sunni Muslims, it also contained sizable populations of Shia, Alawite and Ismaili Muslims, Syriac Orthodox, Maronite, Greek Orthodox, Roman Catholics and Melkite Christians, Mizrahi Jews and Druzes. Arab Kingdom and French occupation. The Occupied Enemy Territory Administration was a military British and French administration over areas of the former Ottoman Empire between 1917 to 20. During and following World War I, it officially ended following the assignment of the French Mandate of Syria and Lebanon and British Mandate for Palestine at the 19–26 April 1920 San Remo Conference. The Arab Kingdom of Syria was the first modern Arab state to come into existence, but only lasted a little over 4 months. During its brief existence, the kingdom was led by Sharif Hussein bin Ali's son Faisal bin Hussein. Despite its claims to territory of a Greater Syria, Faisal's government controlled a limited area and was dependent on Britain which, along with France, generally opposed the idea of a Greater Syria and refused to recognize Faisal as its king. The kingdom surrendered to French forces on 24 July 1920. Following the San Remo Conference and the defeat of King Faisal's short-lived monarchy in Syria at the Battle of Maïs-Allen, the French general Henry Gouraud, in breach of the conditions of the mandate, subdivided the French Mandate of Syria into 6 states. They were the states of Damascus, Aleppo, Alawite State, Jabal Druze, the autonomous Sanjak of Alexandretta, and Greater Lebanon, which later became the modern country of Lebanon. Boundaries. In the most common historical sense, Syria refers to the entire northern Levant, including Alexandretta and the ancient city of Antioch, or in an extended sense the entire Levant as far south as Roman Egypt, but not including Mesopotamia. The uncertainty in the definition of the extent of Syria is aggravated with the etymological confusion of the similar-sounding names Syria and Assyria. The question of the ultimate etymological identity of the two names remains open today, but regardless of etymology, the two names have often been taken as exchangeable or synonym from the time of Herodotus. In the Roman Empire, Syria and Assyria already referred to two separate entities, Roman Syria and Roman Assyria.